Cheers, boys. But I think we all got it.
Cheers.
Cheers to red
Here's
wine.
the-
And
here's the-
there's the red dot, and we're live. We are live.
The red dot.
Welcome back.
Oh.
Welcome back to the Holin None Pod. You're here with Shanky, with my friends, Hayden and High Tees. How you doing, Hayden?
Very good. Excited to be here.
Good.
Yep.
Good.
Yep,
And
yep,
Danny Bidness. Happy to see you, man.
It's good to have you back, mate. I think that last week, me and High Tees, we had our fun, but it's time to be brought back into line, I think.
Yeah.
The first thing I was gonna tee off on was you boys doing the pod without me. Thought it was fantastic. Thought your points were great, well enunciated. Back and forth conversation flowed like some smooth red wine. It was it was a great conversation, and I thought, look, you boys don't even need me. To be honest,
I will give us
I'm
credit.
adding nothing.
It could have gone off the rails very, very quickly, and it didn't. So I'll give us credit there. Maybe that's what the people wanted, but they didn't get it, unfortunately.
I was hoping there may have been a few more disagreements, a bit more of the I respect your opinion, but you're wrong kind of conversations. But
More of a three-man discussion, because you need to have it. It's got to always be a 2-on-1 sort of thing.
Well, I think the fact that you did it without me, you got along great. We're still here today shows we're a good team, a good squad.
Yeah.
So commending you both. I was very upset I didn't get to talk about the U.S. Open. That was I watched every day and enjoyed every minute of it, except for actually the last day because I was stuck in a conference and just quickly going to my phone to see kind of what was happening and really hoping that Ricky would have stayed on top. Every time I checked, I got more and more disappointed. But what are you gonna do, right? He gave it a go, and he's still an outstanding guy. And I still got a feeling he's gonna win this year. You're
a week late, mate.
Hey,
that content's come and gone.
It's all right. We're recording. I got it in. That's all that matters.
Gonna be here.
Anyway, this we're gonna start off the session with a little teeing off trivia. This week we got Hayden High Tees teeing us off. So I don't know what the topic is, but it's
Facebook again.
This is please Facebook me your answers. So Facebook. I've got Messenger. This is the quiz celebrating the Rocket Mortgage. This is about the great state of Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, okay.
So and renowned for being quite the, I'm gonna swear, shithole. But there's some great defining factors that make Detroit a wonderful place. So let's get started.
Eminem.
Name there's 4 major sporting franchises in Detroit. Name me as many as you can. The winner is the one who names the most.
Okay. 4 majors, did you say?
Yep. There's 4 major sports, and there's 4 major franchises.
There's 4 major sports
in America.
Oh, okay. I think someone's got a slight advantage here.
Nah, I don't think I do actually.
Because I don't know anything about
I'm
hockey.
blanking.
All right.
I'm blanking.
Hold on.
I've got 2. I know the 2 of the main ones.
That's good.
I don't know anything about hockey, and I don't know anything about baseball.
You've probably just helped him out there.
Oh, that's fine.
No, I'm thinking baseball, and I can't look. My hands are up. I'm thinking baseball, and I literally am blanking on the baseball team.
Yeah, it's the baseball.
Oh no! Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
There we go. The NBA team. I got 3.
Cool. You got 3. Was it hockey?
No, hockey, basketball, and football.
Yeah.
Cool. So it's 3-2. That's it. That's chalk up that W there for Shanky. All right.
What were the teams?
They are the Detroit Tigers is the one you guys didn't get.
From what's that from? What sport?
I can't remember the other sport.
The other sport. The other sport.
Yeah, the other sport.
The
Detroit
Tigers.
Whatever the Tigers do. I don't know.
And what was the hockey name, son?
Red Wings. They're actually my favorite hockey team.
Red Wings. Okay, so Tigers must be baseball then.
Yeah, I grew up with Steve Yzerman, Sergei Fedorov. Like, those are my favorite hockey players growing up.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't care. That was a solid. I don't care, Drake.
Me too. Next question. There is a really famous brand that came out of Detroit in the last, I don't know, like couple hundred years. Huge,
famous
worldwide, well-known brand. and
Can you
it
give us
is
a hint?
synonymous with Detroit.
Are we talking about clothing only?
No, not clothing. We're talking about
Okay.
I can't say anything more than that because as soon as I say it, you'll get it, and I can't give you any hints because you'll get it. Yeah, it is worldwide.
Can you give us any hints at all?
Yeah,
Super
they made
vague.
like one of the first of kind of things.
They made one of the first of kind of thing.
I can't go anywhere with this.
I need more than that.
The company's named after the guy's last name.
Is
And
it?
then-
It's not. It's not. I'm gonna say that, but I don't think that's right.
I've got absolutely no
Simon's
idea.
right. Nailed
Am I
it.
right?
Nailed it.
Yeah.
What is it?
Ford.
Ford automobiles. Yeah, Detroit's
Ah.
known for building automobiles.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
that was
Motor
next
City,
in
isn't it? Is that Detroit?
Yeah, Motor City.
Okay, cool. All right, next question. This should be an easy one. I expect you both to get this one. One of the most famous rappers in the world has come from the city.
Yeah, we just said that before.
Yes, Simon's right. Dan spelt it wrong, so.
I just use 3 letters. I'm more efficient.
Okay, so Detroit is built on top of.
Hold on. We got to get the answer. You got to let the audience know the
it's
answer.
Eminem, Marshall
Yeah.
Mathers. So
Yeah.
I'll take either, or M,
Yeah.
literally M. Anyway.
Yeah, Eminem. That's what you need.
Detroit, the city, is built on top of what? I've got dinosaur fossils, oil reserves, salt mines, or lithium. Underneath the city, there is a.
and oil the same thing.
Oh, well, it could be, man.
So
wouldn't we just
again?
Say it again.
Salt mines, dinosaur fossils, oil reserves, or lithium? There's a massive amount of these under Detroit City.
Say it again one more time.
Salt mines, dinosaur fossils,
Oh wait, actually, I'm changing my answer.
oil reserves, or lithium.
I'm changed my answer.
Danny's right. It is the salt mines.
Yeah.
The city is built on top of a massive salt mine. And last one is Detroit is synonymous with inventing this specific type of music. It is world renowned. This is where this type of music came from. Have a crack. And you know what? Closest. I'll give the closest.
Closest.
Yeah, because I mean, you could say anything.
I mean,
Is it like recent? Old?
I don't know. Give it a go.
Can I
Detroit
get more than one
is
answer?
synonymous for making this kind of music.
Yeah, it invented it. It invented this style of music.
I'm gonna do something like left field.
Dan, you almost nailed it.
Oh really?
Techno
Yeah,
came from
EDM,
Detroit.
electronic dance
Techno.
music.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Techno.
there you
That
go.
was a fantastic guess.
What did
Well
you
done.
say, Dan?
I said EDM, electronic dance music, which is techno.
Yep, nailed it. Well done. Cool.
Is that
Well,
a
that's
tie?
it.
Do we need a tiebreaker? think that's a
1,
tie.
2, 3, 4, 5. Isn't it 5?
No, but
5
I think
questions?
Simon and I both got 2 each, and one of them we needed.
thought I asked you 5
I
questions.
got 3, and you got 3.
Yeah, so it's a tie. We've both got 3 answers, so it's we'll have to do another round next week maybe.
See, I thought it was Detroit Rock City, so I went rock and roll. You know,
Oh,
that's that
no,
they were
rock and
known
roll
for.
was rock and roll was like England or something, like Europe. No way that was in America.
Anyway,
Rock and roll is all American.
so look, Detroit actually has some stuff going for it. It's got a salt mine. It made techno, and Eminem's from there. So
How good.
cool. All right, everyone lost. Well done.
Hey, we tie. We're both losers. Be fine.
One
So
second.
Nick-
I'm looking something up.
Next
Easy.
week, don't try and clarify the answer. Simon.
Hold on, I gotta see this.
We'll do the same thing next week then, so to break the tie.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. That's fine. Anyway. Well, look, I think that was a good competition. But this pod, we're looking at the a recap of the Travelers, and we'll also get into the upcoming events this weekend, being Rocket Mortgage, British Masters. How exciting! And Live Voldemort. Those 3 super exciting competitions we have this weekend. Before we do that, let's talk about KB, the man, the legend from New England. I think everyone was cheering for him on Sunday. Happy to see he took it home. A big, 3.6, 3.2 mil, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a huge winning for the young man. I know me and Hayden Highties are fans. Danny Bidness hates him for whatever reason, but
No, I don't hate him. I hated the tournament. I thought that we'll get into it. I for one wasn't cheering for Keegan Bradley. I felt like the last day was a bit of a write-off, but we can get into that. We can get into that when you.
no, let's get into it. Let's get into it right now.
Hey,
Why do you want
I'm
Keegan to
happy
win?
I'm happy to see a hometown winner. He was very happy. He was crying, which I thought was a bit much for an event that wasn't super important. But I felt like the way that course was designed, or the way that competition went, that they could go so low so quickly, that as soon as someone got out to a lead like that, there was just no chasing down. The last couple of weeks, and me and Hayden spoke about it last week. The last couple of weeks, we've had so much of this intense golf where you're one shot away from a bogey every single hole, where anyone could chase you down at any point in time. I felt like, and I watched a lot of this golf. I watched basically all 11 hours each day. To me, it felt like a waste of a day for it. It felt like no one was ever going to catch him. There was no point, even though a couple guys came out and had really good rounds. And yeah, credit to him. He did the best on an easy course. Great. Good job, mate. You win your home event. But to me, it wasn't interesting. I had golf viewer fatigue that we spoke about last week, where I didn't. Maybe that made me a bit biased to not enjoy it from the beginning. But to me, there was a bunch of people at the top of the leaderboard I didn't care about at all. Some of the big guns underperformed, and it just, to me, it didn't do the job. I hate watching birdie fests, and it just wasn't fun for me.
Hayden Highties, any retort?
I understand. I think there is a lot of fatigue there in Dan's take.
Too much, yeah.
Too much fatigue. I think there's a lot of fatigue in Dan's take. I don't mind high scores because all of these guys are playing the same course. It's not like it's easy for Keegan and hard for everybody else. It's everyone has their opportunities. And I'm not going to do a stats section, but I do want to touch on a couple of things. He was number 1 strokes gain approach green and number 1 putting by miles. So he went out there and got that. And yeah, they couldn't chase him down. Cantlay tried, and Cantlay probably could have. He missed a couple of birdie putts. Keegan put himself in trouble in the last few holes, and kind of cruised or limped home there. Cantlay really had.
He cruised. Cantlay was 4 shots off.
Nah, but he was like 2 shots at one stage, I think, and Cantlay had a birdie, but he missed it, and then Cantlay it could have easily have the screws could have been turned on Keegan. And look, I think the idea with the easy courses is what Rory was saying, and I don't agree with that, because this weekend all of the courses being played across Britain, the US, and in Spain are all within about 200 yards of this course that we just saw. So I don't accept Rory's take on that either, because he can't hit wedges. So he should not worry about the length of the course. He's got bigger problems. The leaderboard, yeah, that Blair guy and Brian Harmon. Then you got Scotty Cantlay, Rory. Minwoo was there, so it was a really good field. It was easy for everybody, and Keegan went out there and got it. And I can't fault him. I think it was good, and I really like that course. I would really like to play that course.
Yeah, it's a nice looking course. But I will say, so just on that point, right? So Dan, not too happy with it. Hayden, I think you can kind of see both sides.
It was just boring. But it was boring.
But Dan, I feel like this is what you always say. You want to see someone just go out and take it, and that's exactly what Keegan did. That's exactly what Hayden said he was doing.
Where credit is due. He went out, made them both. But I don't want to watch a lot of coverage of Ches Reavie. Right, I don't want to watch these guys, and maybe it's not their fault that they're doing well, but I don't know. For me, it was just a bit boring. The first day was a bit fun. There was a bit of banter. It was good to see, Ricky hit a 60 on day 3 or whatever it was, and Minwoo Lee, our boy, did really well. But I don't know. To me, maybe I was just.
Hey, let's talk about Justin Thomas too, right?
Hold on. Just on Ches Reavie, and I understand where you're coming from, because Ches Reavie is a Justin Rose victim in the major, where Justin Rose got stuck with Ricky Fowler, and they showed all of his shots of him struggling and limping through his round to miss the cut. Ches Reavie got stuck in a top group of someone that was going really well, and they gave him so much. Really well. Yeah, but I think he was 1 over on round 4, which is not good in this competition.
But he went 64,
on the final
63.
day. Yeah, but in the final day, that he got a lot of coverage and he limped home and he didn't look good, and that's when I'm like I don't want to watch Ches Reavie. Like I want to go see someone else, But because he was paired with somebody,
Yeah.
so they still have that's a
he was
coverage
coming
issue.
second coming into day 4. No, he was coming
Absolutely.
second. He was doing well, but because the course was so easy and so short, he's not a long hitter.
Yeah.
He could play well. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh on the course, but it was good to see a couple of the guys do well. Keegan Bradley's, to me, just like you could tell me he played in Live, and I wouldn't care at all. I don't know. I like
Keegan's a little bit before our time paying a lot of attention. He won the PGA Championship like 10 years ago or something. Like Keegan's a very good player, and he's had ups and
2011.
downs. He's a bit of a journeyman. Won Zozo last year, I think it was. So he's.
It was good to see someone care a lot about one of these events. Was good.
Oh yeah, he grew up playing that course, and like that's why he was an easy pick for me, which we'll address later. Like literally, hometown boy, grew up playing that course. Like,
but he's always wanted to win that course. So and I think he puts a lot of pressure on himself to win that course. I don't know what changed with him today, or not today, but on the weekend. But it was good to actually see him come out and play. And take Keegan or leave him. I used to not be a huge fan of Keegan because just watching him hurt my back. But after listening to him on some pods, understanding why he chooses, because he's 6'3", right? And he chooses to use shorter clubs because for him, he feels like it gives him way more accuracy. He'd rather give it the distance and have the accuracy. So I can respect that. And obviously his golf game is on point. It's up there with some of the best. He's done well in a lot of tournaments this year. So I was happy to see him win. And I think he's a genuinely good person, as borderline OCD as he is before his shots. Watching him like do these weird steps and spinning his club around, exactly
I like the spinny
3
club
times.
thing. I do like that. Even with the putter, he spins the putter. I like that.
Like, that's definitely an OCD thing, right? Like he can't hit it until he does that.
It's a routine thing, which is
I think it's more
could probably all benefit from.
Well, I think it's even more than that for him. Like I think he's got some like almost like borderline twitches, right? It's he does it consistently. Like he won't even approach the ball before he does certain things. It's crazy.
Just before we change anything, just touching in, we got to do Scotty Scheffler watch for the week. Just limps to a T4.
No,
Limps.
I don't agree with that. I feel like he's done it too many times now that I think he's starting to be exposed a little bit. I feel like he's a great player. He does really well, but he's not winning anything. He's just doing what John Rahm did last year, where he's just floating around tops of leaderboards without winning anything.
Yeah, but he's so consistent tee to green. It's just the putting, and then one day it's just going to show up and he's going to dominate.
Is it?
I mean,
what will happen first? Will the putting happen, or will the other stuff fall away?
He was putting fine last year when he was winning.
Yeah, no, but the other stuff. But he wasn't. What I'm
He
saying
can do
is,
it.
but does the other stuff fall away first, or does the putting come back first?
The thing with Scotty though, like you got to look at is, like Jason Day went out and won a tournament and then disappears off the face of the earth. Like I have no qualms that Keegan Bradley is going to be nowhere near the top of the leaderboard this week, right?
Yeah.
Wyndham Clark's like what, top 20 maybe this week kind of thing. But Scotty just turns up. He just will not go away.
But
and
Scotty's
like
at a
I
different
just
stage than
respect
Day.
that so much, man. He's crazy.
I think that you're right. And I said this to Dan last week or the week before. I think it was during Origin. I think my birthday night when we went out. We spoke about who we thought the best player in the world was. And Dan asked me, do you think it's Scotty? And I said, absolutely. I think bar none, he's the most consistent golfer out there, like consistently hitting accurate, good shots. I think his only problem is his putting. But to hold that level of consistency for as long as he has, and we get to the OWGR again, but I think over a 2-year period, he is the most consistent golfer by far, more than Rahm, more than Rory, more than anyone else, and he deserves to be up there.
Yeah. The bit I don't understand is he's second in FedEx Cup at the moment. I for the life of me can't figure that out.
Because he hasn't won the events that give you the points to put you at the top. It's only like double digits though.
It's
right?
literally
it's pretty
nothing,
close.
right? Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. And like Rahm, you got to remember, this is the whole recency bias thing. At the start of the year, we were talking about, can anybody beat Rahm? It was only a couple months ago that we were saying that no one's going to beat Rahm in anything. And now this is what I talk about in golf all the time. It only takes 2 or 3 months, and Rahm missing a cut to be like, that guy sucks. It's so much recency bias in golf.
To keep the record clear, I never said that about Rahm.
We did. I
never. You guys were. I never once said.
I think I picked Scotty to win everything, but
I never said that Rahm was going to trudge to win every event.
How good was that clip I posted of? Did you guys see that clip I posted with Rahm in the rough, and the guy was videoing him, and he's like, "Oh, Rahm, you're buried deep," and he turns around and goes, "Shut up, man!" to the guy videoing.
What the hell,
How
man?
good was that? Yeah, he just told his fan to shut up. Like, it was so good. He's so frustrated.
And the guy listened. He didn't say anything else during that video. It was very quiet.
If John Rahm turns around and tells you to shut up, you probably got to shut up.
I think you listen to John Rahm.
Justin Thomas, is he back?
Yeah, I think no, I don't think he's back.
No.
I think he's back, but he needed this event so bad, and I think he'll go get good again this week, and I think he'll build.
You know what it was? You know what I think it was with JT? That first day, he was having fun. He was out there playing golf with some mates, having a good time. I posted that video of him. You know, what did he say to Wyndham Clark? Had an 80-yard shot. Justin Thomas hits it close. Clark asked him to go and mark his ball, and he turns around and says, "You win one fucking US Open, now I have to mark a ball from 80 yards out," and then they will have a laugh. That's what he needs to do. He needs to go back to stop taking it so seriously, stop worrying about it. You're very good at golf. It happens to all of us, right? You think about it too much, you play badly. When you start to relax a bit, you start to play a bit better.
It's interesting. It's interesting because he actually didn't play well the first day. He shot maybe even or something, but then he goes out and the next 3 days, maybe not as only 300 the last day, I think, but he goes out and shoots. And maybe that was an aftermath of, like, you know, realizing that he was having fun. I don't know.
Yeah. Look, I put a lot of this down to when these guys can go out and actually go in the red, really in the red. It kind of reminds me of what Dan was telling me about what Bryson used to do, go shoot off the front tees purely so he could remember how to score. And it's all he'd play off like the ladies off the and just try and get as many birdies as possible. And I feel like these kind of events can kind of reset players like JT, and they go, "Oh, I'm actually good at golf. That's right. I do know how to hit these shots." And so
do you think that playing too safe, overthinking your misses and stuff like that makes you a worse player?
I think we may have spoken about this last week, and me and Dan both thought that JT's over complicating everything.
Yeah, over analyzing every single shot.
Yeah. So absolutely.
No, fair comment. How about Minwoo Lee though?
This is something that I really want to talk about, right? Minwoo Lee, like the dude, like I use TikTok. I know that probably more than you boys, right? And the last time that before the players, right, I said, "Oh, his TikTok's on fire. He's looking good," and I said he was going to do well. And then he came out and did well. Same thing happened before the last major where he did really well. And I'm really annoyed at myself because this week I saw this TikTok video that was absolutely filthy from him. He was hitting these beautiful stingers off the tee, and he had Post Malone and Shanky. I've been listening to a lot of Post Malone lately. So he had this Post Malone song dubbed over the top of it while he's just hitting these absolutely filthy stingers. And I was thinking to myself, every single time that I see Minwoo Lee's TikTok, like releasing these like absolutely on fire videos, he does really, really well. And I saw it before this event, and I didn't take him in the bets, which I absolutely should have. But there's something about him when he's feeling himself. I think he's a real vibey golfer. When he feels himself, he's that younger generation. He's got that swagger about him. He called himself Spinwoo Lee on the weekend because he was getting so much rip, and people are yelling it out. And every time he tees it up, everyone does the woo. Like when his TikTok's going off before an event, put money on that guy to be up there because he knows how to fire himself up. And the weeks that you don't see his TikTok, he'll leave him out. That's my new theory.
I had him top 5.
I know you had him, and I'm annoyed that I didn't because he
went top 7. Like he was so close, man. I was rooting for him.
And when he feels himself, I reckon he could be the next best Australian golfer. I think I'm calling
Absolutely.
it out. I think Minwoo Lee over the next 3 or 4 years could be the Australian golfer.
Yeah, I mean, I think you put him up against Cameron Smith at the moment. I don't think Cameron Smith is technically winning any of those matches head to head. I think Minwoo Lee's got the distance off the tee to beat Cam. Cam's just better short game at the moment.
Long off the tee.
Yeah.
He's so long. He's using driving irons. Other people are using like driver, and like he's just like Cam Smith is that guy who's like the relaxed guy. He's the more bogan guy. He's more like chill, have a beer with. When Minwoo Lee, like I said, he's almost like an NRL player, like a young, like a Reece Walsh kind of guy. Hayden, I guess, where he sort of vibes, and when he's on top, he's super on top, and when he's down, I think he's super down. I think he needs to find a way to make those, those threes turn into sixes and sevens, and then those nines, stay consistent.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to Darren on the phone today, and we literally both said exactly what you said. I think
really?
Min is so young. I think
and
that
he's cool,
within
man.
the next maybe 3 or 4 years, he could easily be the #1 Australian golfer.
Yeah, absolutely.
I reckon he might. Or he's my favorite Australian golfer as of like right now. His social media game is so good, and he's just absolutely. And maybe that's the future of golf. Like getting people involved, getting people excited. Young guy from Perth, and he was on the mic. He was on the mic this week. Did you guys hear him on the mic on the hole?
Yeah.
And that they have to ask him about his sister, and he's kind of like, it's this weird thing where he's living in his sister's shadow, but he's kind of like, oh yeah, she's really good, but I'm kind of good too. Like I'm out here playing this, trying to be like, not put her down, but be like, yeah, I'm also, even though he just hit a shot in the rough, I'm also out here doing my thing. But I'm sure they've got a couple of really proud parents between the two of them.
Oh man, those parents would be like.
Could you imagine?
I wonder what the upbringing was. If it was like a Tiger Woods type situation where you can't have any friends or girlfriends or anything like that. I doubt it. Minwoo seems pretty switched on. I don't really know too much about Minji, but I'm sure she's probably just as cool. They seem to get along really well.
Min's our best chance of an interview on the pod, by the way, because obviously Zach knows him and caddied for him at RQ. So I think we maybe get Zach on here first.
Let's get Zach on first.
Let's get Zach on as a local pro, and then we can ask him about Minwoo, and then we can put the screws on him and see if we can get Min on here. I think there's a chance.
Well, maybe get him soon because he's going to be too big for us in no time.
He's Aussie. He'll never be too big, mate.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? So on Minwoo, he also, I don't know if you saw, the PGA did a video on the fans, and especially the young fans, about Minwoo, and they just absolutely love him. They love the mullet, they love the flow, they love the stash, they love the swagger. They're just like, well, look at him walk. Like these young men, these young probably 18, 19-year-old dudes just idolizing Minwoo, thinking he's just the picture of golf.
Man, I'm 32 and he's my idol at the moment. Like he's got his yardage book. It says Woozy on the back of it.
Yeah.
Like and he's calling himself Spinwoo Lee. Like he's like, give me a nickname and I'll just take it. I'll use it. I don't care. Like people are yelling out at his tee shots, even though he's not, and on the top. But it's just great to see. Great to see that an Aussie can be doing that.
It's like Spinwoo's great. It's almost as good as Hayden High Tees, so it's definitely
not quite,
up there.
But I would love a name like Spinwoo Lee. Get that rip.
Yeah, you love a rip. Anything else on Travelers before we move on?
Well, what else do we have any? I mean, notable cuts, I guess. Rob, notable cut.
Fleetwood. The cut was minus.
Can you give
the
it
cut?
Up for the Fleetwood?
The cut was -3, dude. Fleetwood was -2.
Well, I mean, yeah, sorry, -4 to make it, -3 to be cut. Morikawa cut, Max Homa cut, Kurt Kitayama cut.
The thing about these guys, this is the bit that I don't get. And like we play a lot of golf between us all, and please enlighten me. But I don't know how the Keegans and your Rorys can go -18, and like guys like Rahm can just miss the cut. Like that's something that I just can't comprehend. Like I know you have good days and you have bad days, but we're talking like a 20+ shot spread. Not on the cut day. It would have been more like probably like 15 or 12 or something.
I think he was like minus. I think it was -8 on the day of the cut. Was where the leader was.
It's crazy. Just
the answer is really simple. It's that golf is hard.
Yeah.
And at any point in time, you could lose it.
Yeah.
I'm going through a bit of a spell right now where I can't hit the shots I want to hit. So I get it.
You just said it like before. We like you can understand it because we've all gone out there and there's never been a day where me, like the three of us and whoever else we're playing with, have all had just like the best day of our lives. It's always someone that's struggling and you just don't know why. There's no reason because you're feeling the same way that you felt before. You think the shot's going to come out the same way it did yesterday, and it just doesn't. And that is so why everyone's so addicted to golf.
Yeah,
everyone around the world, whether you're a 20 handicap or a +10 like John Rahm.
Yeah.
On that quickly, the last 2 rounds I played competitions, I scored really well. Like for me, On Sunday, I went out and played a 4-ball best ball Ambrose. And because it was kind of like, it was a competition, but it wasn't handicapped or anything. So I kind of didn't really care. And I was playing with a good golfer. Man, I played like shit. And like, I just couldn't get it going. And I like, the care factor wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like it mattered, but it didn't really matter. It wasn't going to get lodged with handicapping and all that. And I like really fell apart at the end of the round. It was really interesting to like see it happen to myself. Yeah.
Golf's got to be like 50% mental at least.
Something that I
50%.
don't do, that you both can attest to, that I did 3 or 4 times, pure shanks. We're talking 90 degrees.
Stay in your lane, mate. That's Shanky Watts.
I know. I
tip
felt
of the hat. Shanky high tees. Shanky high
tees.
tees. Let's get it
going. I
going.
texted Shanky and said, I'm sorry.
Hey, that's what I like to hear.
Anyway.
Look, on that note, I think yes, I agree. Travelers was not the most exciting tournament, but I do think you need those high scoring tournaments as well, other than just slogs. You need to see these guys, like when at a course like this, when every single hole is birdieable, you expect them to birdie every hole, right? And if they don't, then something's wrong.
I think that these courses are just reality. Your US Opens, your other courses that they played that are really hard, your Oak Hills, that's not reality. Those courses are custom built to defeat the greatest 1% of the greatest 1% of golfers in the world. These guys are going out and playing our courses and these other ones coming up this weekend, and they will shoot 20 under.
Yeah, maybe, and then, you know what? Maybe that's just my flavor of golf that I enjoy, and that's fine because everyone's got a different flavor, right?
Punishment.
Yeah. No, I'd like to watch them. I like to watch them feel what I feel week in, week out.
Which that's just pure agony, pain, depression.
Yep. Radio.
And then the occasional beautifulness.
All right. So moving on, speaking of what's coming up this weekend, we have the Rocket Mortgage PGA Tour event. We have the British Masters, a DP World Tour event. And then we have the Live Voldemort, which is obviously a live event. That's actually the Valderrama. Apologies. I do struggle to say that. But boys, this weekend, are there any of these three we're looking forward to watching?
You touched on it earlier to me. I'll be watching probably the Live, to be honest. Depending, I don't know when the tee times are. So if it's usually 7, they tee for 8, 9 in the morning over there. It might be sort of the same time at PM here. So we'll probably get to watch a fair bit of the Live, probably the entire thing, to be honest.
I'm looking forward to not having to care about the event for a week.
Yeah, I think you need a week off.
I just I'll watch it, but I'll watch it knowing that I really don't care if a Keegan Bradley wins or if a Tommy Fleetwood wins. If Tommy Fleetwood wins an event, I'll be stoked. But it's good to not have to, when the Opens come up, you have to get G'd up for it.
Hold up, we'll back up. I thought you didn't like Tommy.
I like Tommy.
Since when? You used to hate him.
No. I like that when he came
said
second
I hate him.
I was
stupid hair.
No.
That's what you said to me one time.
Okay, I might have said that, but when I told you I was cheering for him when he lost that playoff, and he did lose that playoff, but I think I gained some respect for him that week, and I feel like he's worked really hard for it, and he should get there or thereabouts. But he's I don't care that much about him, but I do like him.
Yeah. He's a great golfer. Is he playing the British Masters?
I don't know. He might be on the PGA.
I don't think he's playing the British Masters, is he?
No, nobody is.
It's Min Woo because he's got
Min Woo, Justin Rose, and Victor Perez.
Yeah. And by the way, Min Woo's guaranteed his PGA card next year, so he will not be in any DP World Tour events either. I meant to mention that as well.
He'll just do like the Hero Classic and blah blah blah. The big ones that matter.
He'll go to the ones that Rory goes to or something.
Good work, Min Woo. Went out and got it. So just while we go through that, the DP World Tour one, that's at the Belfry, which is made very famous. I watch a lot of that with Rick Shields. He tends to go there and take his guests, and it's a beautiful course. There's been 4 Ryder Cups at the Belfry, one won by the US, 3 by the European team.
And Hayden, what is the Ryder Cup?
The Ryder Cup is the competition between the United States and Team Europe, and it goes biannual. So it's every second year. Did I use the right? Biennial? It's like every second year.
Yeah.
So we've got one coming up this year. We were lucky to have one last year too because of COVID. And this year's in Italy.
Yep.
And it's
No, this year.
No.
Is it?
Oh, is it Italy? Is it Rome? I thought it was
Italy.
Rome. I thought it was Rome.
And from all accounts, there's a lot of it's not going to be great. Italy doesn't sound very good. But So it's obviously DP World Tour, and those are your three guys. The rest of them are your plumbers.
Your
I don't know.
plumbers and your builders.
Yeah.
That's right.
So interestingly, 7,000 yards that course, so 100 yards longer than the Travelers. Your Valderrama, which is 7,000 yards. Oh, it's 6,990 yards, so 90 yards longer than the Travelers. So Valderrama, where the Liv is, 1997 Ryder Cup. So and WGC Match Play 99 and 2000, Spanish Open. So there's been some really good events at these courses. They're not just like
20
crappy
years
courses.
ago. But yep. 30 years
Oh yeah,
ago, sorry.
I mean Spanish
Yep.
Open was a few years ago, like 5 years ago. But they're good
You know how
quality
good that event is.
courses. Yeah, Ram probably won it or Sergio, but you know,
I can tell you right now, I'll watch highlights of the British Masters. I will not watch it live. I will probably watch a little bit of the Rocket Mortgage. I might flick to it now and then to see if any of the boys are up top. You know, I'd like to see JT or Ricky doing well. To be honest, I'd like to see Finau do well, but I can't. I can't.
You know who? Do you know who won the Rocket Mortgage last year?
Tony Finau.
Big Tone.
Yeah.
And Patrick Cantlay came second. Cameron Young came tied second as well. So there's some, he's out there to
Tony
go
hasn't
back to
even
back.
come. Tony really hasn't even come close
But
to
this
any
is
real
last year,
tournaments this year.
but
Not
this is
talking
where
about
he
Mexico Opens
started
or
his
anything.
run. Remember last year he started his run here, and then didn't he win like 3 events at the back end of the year, and it started at the Rocket Mortgage Classic.
Can we refer to Tony by his real name, please?
What, Big Toe?
What's that?
Milton.
Milton, is that really?
That's it.
Miltony.
Milton Finau.
You know, the stand-up guy that he is, you know, the man who gives back to the community, takes care of his family. He seems like a Milton.
He does. He seems like
Little known fact, my mother grew up in a little town called Milton as well, in Nova Scotia. Yeah,
Well done.
yeah. To finish that off, I will be watching probably the Live more than any, because as much as I'm not a huge fan of it compared to PGA, that's where most of the big names are this weekend. You know, Brooks, Bryson, DJ, Cam. Like, I do want to watch those guys play. And even if the course is super easy, like it was this week at the Travelers, I still want to watch it. I still want to see how they do. It's for me the most exciting thing on this weekend.
So I just double checked. It looks like Liv is going to tee off around 7 p.m. our time.
Oh yeah, I like that.
So maybe we get some beers together and watch it or something.
Maybe we do.
Maybe we do. Cool. Well,
Why not us? You're camping this week though. You're
no, we're not anymore. Canned it.
Oh, okay. There you go. Should we get into the bets then?
Let's do it.
Yeah, unless you guys have more to say,
Right.
then let's get into the picks.
Let's get into the bets. So last week we did the Travelers, and once again I had a shocker, which was great. So all of my 3 bets did not come through. Shanky, your bets, you got Minwoo Lee as T5, which you just missed out on, unfortunately. It wasn't too far
bad
off,
luck.
actually. Yeah, it looked really good for a while. Both of us had Tom Kim T20, which just didn't turn out, and then Rama Fleetwood both missed the cut.
37 or 67
he was 30 something. Yeah, but only a couple shots, he would have been close to that. And then Mr. Heighties, 2 of your 3 coming. You've been on a bit of a roll lately. You've had two bets come through the last 3 weeks in a row. So Cantlay T5, and you would bet on Cantlay, KB for a T20.
And the safest picks. The safest picks.
He's just like, the Bryson
never
DJ
going for it.
It was tough. It's a tough watch. Anyway, if we go back to the leaderboard, I'm at a cool negative $179. So that's great. We got Shanky at negative $20.20, and then we got Hayden Heighties is back in the positives at $22.80. So what we're going to do this week is we're going to do the Rocket Mortgage Classic. We're going to do T40, T20, T10. Keep it nice and simple. But we're also going to do an outright winner for Liv. So since you're leading the way, Mr. Heighties, why don't you tell us what you got?
Yeah, cool. I'm going to go outright Liv straight off the bat. And we're going to go for Sergio.
Wow, so close to picking Sergio.
Picking the Spaniard in Spain. Look, why not? He actually played pretty well in the US Open, from what I can remember. Let's go Sergio. Why not?
Why not?
It's not a particularly long course, so he shouldn't struggle. Cool. We're gonna go T40. No, we're gonna go T10. I'm gonna go with Harris English. Harris English
like
for
that.
T10. He's a weird looking bloke. So we're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt there. T20. I'm gonna go with the Australian Cam Davis.
You're reading my mind here.
So Cam Davis, he's had some really good results there in the past. So we're going to go with him. He knows the course and he's obviously comfortable. And T40, this is a bit of a ring in from one of my friends. I'm going to go with Troy Merritt.
Wow.
Troy Merritt.
Big name player, I know. I've been copying it for picking the big name guys. Troy Merritt's one of the biggest names out there. We're going to go with Troy Merritt for a T40.
And what's the basis of Troy Merritt? Why are we picking him?
Did you spin a wheel?
He has a real good beard. He's a bit older, and he's actually finished like top 10 the last 4 years in a row or something. Something stupid,
Wow.
like consistently really, really good. So
Right.
We hope that this guy who's super famous will do it again.
Yeah, good. I hope I spelled his name right, but that you should get some odds for
So
that.
do I.
Sure, awesome. All right, Mr. Shanky, you're coming second in the leaderboard so far. So why don't you tee off second?
I'll do the same order.
Okay.
Top live. I'm gonna throw in an oldie but a goodie, Bryson DeChambeau. He seems to be coming back in form, and I feel like he's due to win something eventually.
Yeah, I like that.
Should I go top 40 or top 10 first?
Yeah, whatever you want to do, mate.
I'll do top 40 first. Top 40. I'm vibing my boy. Similar swagger to Min Woo Lee, although he's not yet reached that peak of just masculinity. Akshay Bhatia. Akshay Bhatia, top 40. Man, I swear this guy's got a great swing on him.
Man, Akshay's a gamer. I just watched
Yeah.
a video on YouTube of him. He is a gamer.
Yeah, and for a skinny dude, he smokes the ball. It's just like Min Woo. Like they're both not that thick, and they just have like the perfect sequence. Like if you want to look at how to just use every part of your body perfectly, like those guys know how to do it. If you know what I'm saying. T20. I had the same as Hayden, Cameron Davis. I think he's a great pick for a top 20. And I love the support in Australian. So Cam Davis up there. And my T10, he's been playing really well lately. He's not the most exciting, but he's a man of my name. We'll go with Adam Schenk.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good Canadian.
Adam Schenk. I think I said that right. There you go. Maybe. Awesome. I like it. All right. Yeah, well, I've actually, it's a bit frustrating now because I've actually also picked Cam Davis, so maybe I'll change that up. But I'll start with my live outright, and I've gone for Mr. Louis Oosthuizen.
Oh,
Louis Oosthuizen. I feel like you said a shorter course might suit him. He had the potential at one point in time to be a top 10 golfer in the world. And he was sort of held back, but I don't know. I've got a feeling about Louis this week.
Knows how to come second for sure.
And he also has the same chant as Min Woo Lee. They call him Lou.
That's right. Why not? Exactly. I'm going to go with my T10, and I'm going to stick to a pod favorite, and Ricky Fowler, top 10. He's on a roll. Why not?
Yeah.
On a hot streak. Don't need to say too much more about that. Ricky Fowler.
Nice.
Yeah.
You get $11 from that bet.
Something like that. I'm going to go with my T20 is going to be, and again, another person who I just feel like he's overdue. He's just got to get there somewhere, Mr. Hideki Matsuyama.
Yep.
Hideki. And then my T40 was Cam Davis. So good thing that we're all going for Cam Davis, so he's going to miss the cut, as always happens whenever we all bet on somebody.
Quick, jump on Xander.
Oh my God.
Jump on Xander.
We're just going to apologize ahead of time, Cam. I know you've flown all the way out there to participate in the Rocket Mortgage Classic, and we've just jinxed you. But have a good first 2 days at least.
I mean, we are the Holin None pod, so it's probably to be expected given our name and our style of play.
It's funny how we can all bet on the same guy completely off the cuff, and they just tend to miss the cut.
To be honest, I like to throw in Australian, and most of my bets you'll notice I usually try to get one in. This week, because of the options, for me he was the best.
I feel like he's.
I made
Yeah.
a point of moving away from big names this week, so because I know you guys are giving me some heat. So
We can look at your bets. I reckon we look at your bets and see how many names
Hey.
we don't recognize.
There's no bigger name than Merritt. You'll be fine.
Corey Merritt.
I reckon you have Scotty almost every week.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know it's all right. It's a safe
All right.
bet. It's a good bet. To be honest, it's a
betting's
good
one
bet.
of those games. It's not like golf. We want to be the lowest. You want to, anyway.
Most
Yeah.
consistent. It's slow
figure it
games,
out.
Yeah.
small increments.
Consistency is key.
Small increments. All right. Well, I think great bets this week, guys. We'll see how we go. Even if you don't watch much of it this weekend, we'll talk about what we did watch, and hopefully the bets turn out all right. We'll move on now to our final segment, which we call Holin' Out. This week, we usually start with Dan, so I'm going to start with Dan.
Well, I was actually going to hole out on Minwoo Lee's TikTok, but we've already sort of spoken about that.
Yeah.
So that's I don't know. Maybe I'm going to hole out on things that happen in your life that are coincidental. So like I've been listening to Post Malone a lot at the gym, and then that Post Malone song comes on top of Minwoo Lee's TikTok that we saw the other day, and me being an idiot didn't take that as a sign. Maybe I should have. So maybe I'm holding out on, just making sure that you take in the signs when they come to you. I should have bet on Minwoo Lee for a top 10 when I saw that, and I didn't. So go with your gut. Actually, I did learn something today. Apparently, your gut has got sort of, I think it's 1/10 of the amount of enzymes that your
All
brain
right.
does
Up
or
next
something.
is Hayden.
No, so if you have a gut feeling, it means that something is, you should go with it. Yeah, you should always go with your gut. So
Yeah.
next time I see Minwoo Lee on top of a TikTok game, I'm betting for him in the top 10, guaranteed.
Awesome. All right, Hayden Highties, what are you holding out on, mate?
I'm holding out negative today. I'm sorry to bring this good pod down into a bad space. I'm holding out on compounding things. So, like, for example, I'm not going to go into details, but this may not happen to you, but it happens to me. When something goes wrong at like work, right? And then something happens early in the day, and you're like, that's bad. And then you're like, I bet it's one of those days, and you can just guarantee that, like, as soon as you fix that, something else goes wrong, something from a while ago. I've had a day like that where it's compounded, and you just walk away going, I'm not sure what I was thinking maybe a week and a half ago when I did all these things, but wow, I've stuffed it up big time, kind of thing. So I'm holding out on that. I've fixed them all up. I'm done, but I don't want another day like that. Compounding things is no good.
I can appreciate that, especially in golf. I
Yes.
have an awful problem compounding mistakes and just getting into a negative spiral. So can completely appreciate that. I'm gonna flip a positive. So holding out on Virgin Airlines. So I've never been a huge fan of Virgin. I've flown with them before. I didn't really like them. I've always been a fan of Qantas, just easier. But I've recently come back from
Qantas is
Sydney.
good.
Qantas is always good, and plus you get the in-flight meals with Qantas, which is nice.
And drinks.
Free drinks?
Yeah, Qantas you get unlimited drinks.
Like glass of wine.
Yeah, but you can ring them and they'll just keep bringing them to you
Without paying extra. Oh, didn't know that. Anyway, I don't need it. I'm fine.
It's fine.
Virgin though, I bought the tickets because they were the cheapest at the time. I had to quickly go to Sydney last week, which is why I was on another pod. But I will say it was our first time. Kirsten came with me and we took Ava, who's only 6 months old. And it was the first time that I felt completely comfortable on a plane, and that the staff were extremely helpful and actually cared, and were just trying to like get us in and get us out. They were like really caring and just really nice and helpful. And it was, just one of the best flights back and forth that I've been on.
Do you think it's because you had the baby and the maternal instincts of these flight attendants? They just feel like they have to take care of you a bit better and maybe give you that bit of service.
Well, one of them was a man, so maybe some paternal there, but
paternal, maternal.
Yeah,
potato,
I don't assume. But maybe. I don't really know.
Well,
why.
I found that whenever I go on a flight with Tom, I always get everyone always takes care of you a bit better. They give you a little bit extra. They give you extra lollies, whatever, and it's because they want the kids to have a good time as well, right? So maybe that's the key to safe travel.
I mean, everyone thinks she's the cutest little kid, which
she is very cute. I'll give you that.
Yeah, so that definitely helps. But I don't know. I noticed them being helpful, like to everyone. Like they just seem overly nice. Like when they're doing the little thing where they're like seatbelt, pull strap, all that kind of stuff. Like they were just laughing and smiling the whole time. And I was on both flights, of 2 flights back and forth. So I don't know. I was impressed. I don't know after COVID if things got a bit more relaxed, if they're just trying to have more fun with it. Because I think previously I didn't see that on Virgin flights. So I'm holding that on Virgin. I think
they
they
did a good crew. Good crew. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, on that note, boys, another great pod. I could see Hayden High Tea's yawning over there, so we'll head to bed. Thanks again, guys, for moving this to not our normal time on a Tuesday night. I couldn't do it our normal time, so appreciate that and appreciate you guys. Great seeing you. Until next time, signing off.
See you later.
Bye.